Hello everyone, and welcome to the Dice Commando YouTube channel. I'm Andrew, with you here as always. This is the Commando Cast, a video cast about all things Star Wars Destiny. This video and others like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. Please show your support with a like and subscribe, and be sure to hit the bell notification icon so you don't miss any new videos. If you want to get involved with the channel, consider becoming a channel member. There are many benefits to channel membership, including access to our Discord, exclusive deck tech and strategy videos, and the opportunity to help create channel content. I want to sincerely thank all our channel members, as I truly couldn't do this without your support. You guys rock. Go Commando.
In December of 2016, Star Wars Destiny burst onto the gaming scene. Bringing our favorite childhood heroes to the tabletop in card form and on big clunky dice, Destiny exploded in popularity due to its unique and dual nature as a card game. Simplistic and straightforward, but with incredibly deep, in-depth, and complex tactics, the unique gameplay combined with the Star Wars property made Destiny attractive to players of all skill levels, from various backgrounds, and from all walks of gaming. A game you could teach and play with your kids, thematic and fun for the kitchen table, casual theme nights at your LDS, but also challenging enough to keep even the most competitive players intrigued. Over the next 3 years, Star Wars Destiny thus evolved into a unique, diverse, and thriving global community. In addition to formal organized play, teams from around the world would meet up at events for beers, fan groups organized and ran community events, and there was never a lack of content or games to be had. The overall positivity and welcoming nature of the community had created something rarely seen in the TCG-CCG world. Then, in January of 2020, FFG, Fantasy Flight Games, announced the end of their production of the game. Within hours, what should have been a death sentence for our game thus became a community call to action. In the weeks and months that followed, well into the pandemic, leaders emerged. The community came together to continue the game into perpetuity, ensuring the game they loved and the community they loved would continue. Today, Star Wars Destiny lives on and is alive and well. Fan-led groups continue to churn out new content. Community events and tournaments occur weekly across the globe, both online and in person. And while the community is, as you would expect, smaller in number than at its peak, those of us left are a passionate and dedicated global community, invigorated more than ever before. From a quality and commitment standpoint, the game is better supported than it ever had been. Every person in the community plays their part, however small, working together to keep the game alive and going strong. If you want to join this incredible community and play this amazing game, we would love nothing more than to have you. In this video series, we'll explore how and where you can play Star Wars Destiny today. Hello there and welcome. My name is Andrew and I run the Dice Commando channel here on YouTube. Dice Commando is one of the largest Star Wars Destiny resources available on YouTube, which means that if you're interested in this awesome game, you have come to the right place. In this 3-part series, we're going to be looking at how you can get involved, how you can start playing, and where you can find other information on the stuff you need available to start playing Star Wars Destiny in 2021. What we're going to do in today's video is we're going to focus on the resources available, the various teams, and how Star Wars Destiny is continuing in the future. After that, in the next 2 parts, we're going to be focusing on Tabletop Simulator, which is one of the largest available ways to play Destiny online. In episode 2, we will be looking at how to install it and get going. In episode 3, we're going to do a sample game. So thanks for joining us today as we go through the lay of the land in Star Wars Destiny for 2021. So you're looking at getting into the game of Star Wars Destiny, or maybe you're coming back from a long hiatus. Where do you go get more information? Where are those resources available? Now, obviously, you're watching me talk right now, which means that you found us here on Dice Commando. Now, Dice Commando's focus on news, cast strategy, and gameplay vids. Our objective is to get 1 video up per day, and I've been able to support that over the last 3 years, with the exception of the 3 holidays the 3 US-based holidays that I take per year. But there are plenty of other resources out there available to you, of course. Another option available to you is the global Facebook page as shown here. Now, this does come with some caution, and this page, of course, is not as active as it used to be. Discord has primarily taken over as the recent vehicle for conversations and chatter in Star Wars Destiny. However, if you are on that and you ask questions, people are there to answer you. People from around the community who are involved in these other Discords can actually help you find the resources you need to go elsewhere. So it's always a great place to start by joining that global Facebook. The next is perhaps the best tool that we have available is SW Destiny DB. This is a full database available of all of the current Fantasy Flight cards, as well as ARH and TCI, which we'll talk about a little bit later. These are the fan expansion sets. In here, you can go in, you can do deck building, you can look at all the cards available, and get a real good picture of everything available to the game. If you're the type of person who doesn't prefer listening to podcasts or watching YouTube videos, and maybe you prefer written word, I want to send you over to my friends at Echo Base. This is a UK-based team that does fantastic work over there with articles, data, tournament synopsis, meta reports, and just current development of everything going on in Star Wars Destiny. And of course, as referenced earlier, Discord has really become the current hotbed for social activity for Star Wars Destiny. All the various teams have theirs. That's where a lot of the online tournaments are run. So as you get more and more into the game and experience, you can kind of focus in on what teams you want to be a part of, what continuing committees you might want to join and follow, and so on. And you can expand your social aspect to include those various teams. So as Fantasy Flight decided that they were going to exit and stop making new content for the game, various fan-led continuing committees, as we're calling them, have popped up. The largest and most global of these groups is A Renewed Hope, or in short, ARH. Currently, ARH has 2 expansions that have already been created, and they have one in the pipeline due in June. In addition to fan-made content, ARH has also run a series of tournaments. They have organized play up and in full swing, and you can regularly find games on their Discord. The ARH team was formed from many members of some of the most competitive teams in Star Wars Destiny. As such, many of their card designs have a higher complexity and a game-first focus. The ARH team is large enough to completely support their development cycle, from development to playtesting to rollout to organized play. Of the various fan projects out there, ARH is the largest, the best supported, and best poised for long-term success. The Coruscant Initiative, or TCI for short, is a fan-led project out of Europe, primarily based in France. You can find them at coruscantinitiative.org. They have one current fan expansion out, with another in the pipeline due later this summer. The folks over at TCI have done a fair amount of work to continue playability of the old FFG stuff, including reusing old dice on their new cards. Finally, the good folks over at New Destiny Hungary are pumping out fan cards on a very frequent basis. A small team, they exist primarily on Face Group, dropping their fan cards for people to use. The NDH team will often focus more on playability, fun, and theme than they do balance, but that can make them for some very interesting kitchen table games. So with all these options available to me, how do I actually play Star Wars Destiny? What cards are legal, which ones aren't, which ones fit together, and which ones don't? What we're going to do in this segment is actually go through the various formats available to you. The first and foremost, the best place to start, of course, when you're actually going out and buying your packs, is the FFG, what we call the Legacy formats. This is standard and infinite formats. These are actually available on the FFG website, and these are using just the Fantasy Flight Games cards. No fan cards, no anything like that, right? The next step up from that would be to use my holocron, the Dice Commando traditional infinite holocron. This is something that this uses only legal FFG cards, right? Only stuff that's been printed by Fantasy Flight Games. But instead, I've taken it one step farther, and I've maintained and updated it for balance, for some errata and stuff like that. That has happened after FFG disengaged their support from the game. So again, it's just FFG main support, but it's been kept and maintained to be a little more balanced and a little more fun for everybody. The next step onto that is to look into ARH Standard and Infinite. Now, part of my Dice Commando Holocron, I also maintain the ARH, or Renewed Hope, their Infinite, how their cards fit in with the overall card pool. But they also, of course, run their own standard format, which is currently the last couple of sets available for FFG and their new fan sets. But in the future, that will, of course, rotate out and be completely ARH legal sets. Similarly, TCI Standard, the Coruscant Initiative Standard, they have something similar where they're using their fan sets plus a subset of Star Wars Destiny cards, Fantasy Flight FFG cards that have been reprinted and elected to be legal as well. And you can, of course, find that on their website. Last, I want to call your attention to Destiny Smash. This is developed by Dice Commando. This is a hugely popular format that is essentially a board gamified version of Star Wars Destiny. In this format, and of course we'll put the link in the video below, you can check that out. What you do is you have two 15-card decks that are pre-made, pre-selected lists by us, and you just choose and you smash them together and you play Destiny with your buddy. It's of course not an official format by any way, but what it's really done is reinvigorated real FFG card use back on the table. But regardless, no matter what you choose, all the options available to you, you can try them all out, see what's there for you. But no matter what you choose, you're going to have a great time. So you're on board, you've decided to take the plunge, and you want to play a game of Star Wars Destiny. How are you going to go about doing that, especially in the day and age where the pandemic lockdown is still present in a lot of countries? Your best resource, your best tool is the Tabletop Simulator platform on Steam. Now again, the next 2 episodes in this series are being dedicated to teaching you how to use this format. Tabletop Simulator is your best resource for finding games globally, any time of day, against various people. That's really the best resource you have available. Now, many of the tournaments, many of the groups that are running events, running tournaments, they will also be using the Tabletop Simulator platform. Now, ARH does have plans, Renewed Hope does have plans for IRL Worlds. This is already scheduled for Vegas in 2022. However, for the time being, with the lockdown, again, the best way to connect with your global population is Tabletop Simulator. Both ARH and TCI run their own sets of tournaments, but these tend to be fewer and farther between and a little higher level play. On the flip side, Entourage Gaming, they run a weekly tournament. Our friends over at Echo Base, previously mentioned, they run 2 sets of weekly tournaments. And again, you can accrue points, cash those out for really cool promo cards. We also have our friends over at On the Sensors. On the Sensors is a webcam and Discord-based play, right? For people who actually still want to roll their chunky dice, right? You can connect with people using their Discord, and you can play games via webcam with people all across the globe. So there are many options available to you based on what your personal preference is. Of course, if you want to play with your with your friends at your kitchen table, highly encourage to do that. But in terms of finding groups, finding organized play, you're really going to have to get involved with Tabletop Simulator, at least for the time being. Thank you very much for joining me today in checking out Star Wars Destiny and seeing if it was for you. I, of course, hope that it's something that you decide to do, and I hope that this video has really been helpful in kind of helping to figure out the current lay of the land here in 2021. Of course, I'm just one of many resources available, such as I mentioned, and I, of course, encourage you to go out and figure it out for yourself and learn and ask questions, and the community is very accepting. So as always, if you have any questions that you need, you feel free to put them below. If I can't answer it, I will put you in touch with the people who can, and I can always provide resources. So thank you very much for joining me today. If nothing else, friends, go Commando.